Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to 2026. This is a new year, and it is our first segment of Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen of this year, and I'm excited to be with you all on today. I hope that you guys are out there having a fantastic time. Hopefully, the beginning of this year has been absolutely amazing for you. We're going to have a great conversation for you today. A lot to talk about. So call your cousins, call your family, your auntie, your uncles, your play cousins down the street. Allow them to know that Straight Talk is on. And it's time to get straight to the heart of the matter. Giving it to you straight, no chaser, no filter. What's happening from Wall Street to Main Street with the issues that are impacting your day. All right, so today our conversation is going to be about it's time to pay attention to the village, to the community, to my people. It is time to pay attention. We are now in a place of great global instability. We're going to talk about it all, about what's going down and what has happened over the past couple of weeks. I have in the studio as my sit-in producer, your afternoon girlfriend, Yvonne Daniels. What's going on, Yvonne?
What's up? Happy New Year.
Hey, it is a new year, Yvonne. How you feeling this year?
Fabulously, wonderfully, just overwhelmed.
Now, Yvonne, I'm going to say this. You are always a burst of light and energy. And by the way, you'll have to check out her segment that comes on after this show, Take a Deep Breath, where she is just making sure that we are practicing mindfulness. 2025 was a challenging year for you.
Yes.
26 is here.
Yeah.
What do you anticipate for this year?
I mean, just, you know what? My pastor today was talking about the fact that we have got to steward time, watch time, and make time. Because we have to make sure that every day that we are living every day like it is truly our last, so that we're bearing fruit. So that's what I want to do. I want to make sure that I'm bearing lots of good fruit this year.
She's going to be bearing fruit on today. I'm so glad to have her in studio. Whenever she's here, we always have a whole bunch of fun. So we're going to get into today's conversation. But, I want to give a shout out to all of those who are listening to us on KISS 107.1 FM. If you like what you're hearing, you want to hear more of this, maybe you came in midway and you want to catch the rest of the show, you can always go to kisswtlz.com. On that main screen, you will see this mug on the screen, this space here. Click on there, you'll catch this show and all the other shows as they put them in podcast form. You can always go to Odyssey and Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, you can find this on there as well. Follow us, like us on YouTube. I Grow Daily, Kareem. We're on all the social media platforms. Check us out. We're glad to have you with us. It is 2026, January 4th, a new year with new ideas, new horizons, and new things to come. Y'all know how I like to start. I like to start by talking about what's on my mind. And so there are a number of things that are on my mind. Before we do that, I'm going to bring in the social media stream. There's some two young, lovely ladies that are with me. You've seen them before. They are here, ready to roar. Let me hear you. I am woman. Hear me roar. Go ahead. Roar. They look like roar. All right. But I'm so glad to have you all today. So we're here and we're entering in this new year. I want you to like, tag, and share this conversation. Y'all are out there. We got a lot to talk about today. We're going to get into this whole kidnapping of Venezuela's leaders. We're going to talk about the situation with politics and this election that needs to come up that's going to be happening. I mean, we're going to have it all. But before we do that, ladies, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Oh, in tandem. So what's going on? What are you guys anticipating for this new year?
Okay, girl. Kind of like what Yvonne said, just bearing fruit and just seeing what God has in store for me. I'm 21, I'm young. So I'm just excited to see what he has for me and just taking it step by step and kind of just getting in my career and having fun, having
fun. 2026. What else happens in this year for you in 2026? Anything else major?
Supposed to be graduating.
Okay.
Fingers crossed.
Okay, graduation.
College. So that is really big. And yeah, that's the biggest thing.
All right. So graduating college, you have great ambitions and you have a great desire to do greater things. What are some of the things that you want to do? What is the thing that your goal to pursue? What is it that you want to achieve?
I want to be in sports media. So my main goal right now that I've been focusing on is working for ESPN, kind of being a sports commentator. Think of, if y'all know, Malika Andrews, very beautiful woman, but she knows what she's talking about. I love that. I love when women are not just beautiful and have the looks, but they also got the mind on them as well.
All right. And then over here, what's going on, Miss Amaya?
Hey y'all.
Maya, what does 2026 have in store for you?
I want to see a lot of growth within myself and within growing in confidence with my business. I cannot wait to see what I have in store for April. We'll be having our girls conference. Girl, you make things happen. So that's really what my focus is on, really, as of right now in this moment.
Making things happen. All right. So I want to get into things. I want to give a shout out to the newlyweds who are out there recently married this weekend. This past week, it was actually New Year's Eve. And that is Eric and Precious Davis. Yes. Congratulations on those wedding nuptials. So many things happening. So many people did not make it. To Richard Smallwood, I believe it was. Oh, yes. Right at come on. He represents a transformational period in gospel music, bringing in the orchestra, all of the amazing music. When you say total praise, come on. When you say praise him with the timberland dance, praise him. Let everything that have breath. So we give, our respects. They'll be laid to rest. In addition to that, man, my brother Stephen Hartwell, right before Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, went on to be with the Lord. Bruh said, hey, I'm taking this one out. He took the express train on to glory. He will be laid to rest this Friday. I've been asked, and I'm so pleasured by his wife, L'Oreal. I called her, and the only thing I could do, I had no words. I just, prayed with her and just said, listen, I'm praying with you. He is such an amazing family man, such an amazing businessman, and he will be missed. My heart also goes out to Bishop, not only to that family, but to Bishop Ernest Johnston. This is another one of his generals. If you all know Dr. Simona Perry, she was so vitally involved with everything that took place there, making her waves here in Saginaw Community Foundation and some of the things that were happening here in the community. And here is another one as general. So we are praying for you, Bishop. We're praying for you, Mrs. Hartwell and family, and the entire Kingdom Life Ministries. Our hearts and prayers are with you. This coming Friday, he will be celebrated, and we will have his homegoing celebration. And one of the things I loved about Steve is that if you was around, everybody can get it. He was a comedian. He was so funny, and so I know that if his presence is in the house, if his spirit is represented, there should be a lot of laughter. There should be a lot of joy, because that is who he was as a person. So our hearts and prayers, thoughts and prayers go out to the entire Hartwell Kingdom Life, Bishop Ernest Johnson, and the entire crew. Also, I want to give a shout out. We are all of us that are in the room. We're just recently, almost all of us, we're just recently at the NAACP. Ms. Siobhan, come on. And I know that you are super duperly involved with the NAACP. Tell us exactly what it was that we were celebrating again.
Yeah, that was the Jubilee Day.
Jubilee Day.
Yeah, Jubilee Day. So we had the youth that were almost kind of like in charge. So it's always great to see the youth being a part of, all kinds of events and stuff. So it was awesome.
Man, one day when I grow up, my voice is going to sound like that. It's Jubilee Day. All of the youth. It's always good to have music. But I appreciate that. And it was great to be celebrated. The young people selected myself, Miss Inez Williams, and Joyce Harvin.
Congratulations.
As those individuals that they wanted to celebrate for our contributions and our work we do in the community as it relates to youth. So thank you. We don't take any of those things by surprise or by chance. I certainly appreciate it, and thank you. We have, first of all, we're going to get into the things. Amaya, we're going to give you an opportunity to come on in here. She is going to share with us some things, some inspiration. We're going to get it together starting off this new year in 2026. Amaya, what do you have for us on today?
I have some tips, some tips for starting off the new year right. So number one, let's reflect and reset. Take time to review what happened in 2025. Celebrate your accomplishments. Even think about the challenges that you faced. Think about the ways that you can grow and how you went through different challenges of last year, what things that you have to look back at and say, okay, what can I do differently? And how are you planning to move forward? Two, let's set SMART goals instead of huge resolutions. Let's set those specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and realistic time bound goals. Break them into small daily actions, like even starting off with small and long term goals to make sure that you have, where do I see myself in the next 3 months, 6 months, or even the next 9, 12 months. Let's prioritize our health, making sure that we schedule our regular checkups, that we make sure that we go work out, that we're making time for ourselves, even just mental days, just self-care days. That's prioritizing our health, making sure that you're eating great and making sure that you have the right techniques to have a stress-free life and a stress-free year. And then we have cultivating new routines. Establish small and consistent habits. Go to the gym. That's one. Start reading a book. Read. Hey, last year I started something new. I started reading. It's not actually reading. I'm not gonna lie. I did do audible books, and because I'm always on the go, so I started listening to books, and I love it.
So, what was the one book last year that you listened to, or that since you were reading, you were listening to? What's the series?
Actually, it's an author named Jacquel J. She has a series. It's Delgado Family Series. I started off with Capone, then Capadonna, Capri, then Inferno. So then it goes on and on and on. I'm on book 17 right now.
Okay, all right. Give it up. I always say that he who reads leads. So we have to add reading to our arsenal for this year. Go ahead. What else do you have?
So then I have learning something new. Something I did last year. I learned how to do my own makeup because I depend on my cousin Precious to do my makeup. And now you just heard she just got married.
I'm married now.
So I had to learn how to do it on my own. So let's try new things, explore new things. Let's travel more, do different things to express yourself more and learn yourself more.
Let me ask you a question about that. When it comes to travel, do you think that this younger generation seizes the opportunity to see the world in a way that other generations never did?
Yes, I do.
Why do you guys think that is? Ms. Siobhan, why do you think, do you think that I think this younger generation is living life the way that life was meant to be lived?
Because things are just different now. I mean, when we were their age, there was just like a set way you did it. You go to school, you go to college, you get your degree, get a good job, but you got entrepreneurs. I mean, they just, they're becoming very wealthy at younger ages. I mean, it's just life seems like it's more open to them.
Yes. And also social media, I feel like plays a big part on it because a lot of people are becoming influencers and stuff. So now they have to travel for different things and everything now. So
it's interesting because I've seen so many young people that are now making, and hey, some of y'all old heads need to get in on this. I've seen so many young people who are making money traveling, sharing their experiences, vacation bloggers. And so they take exotic vacations. They're now being paid by either the country or by a hotel to go there, experience it, share their stories, and they're vlogging while they're there. That means a video blog for those of you a little bit slow. So those are opportunities now that never existed before. Right. There was a time when people say you can't make one. Everybody wants to be a social media streamer, influencer. You can't make money.
Anybody
people are making real money.
Yeah, anybody can do it. Like literally. My mom literally just bought me a camcorder so I can start doing it.
I'm gonna tell you. I've been getting checks now, Miss Siobhan.
Okay.
I was like, hey, I'm getting checks. Before it was like $5, $10. I broke a couple $100 So if y'all see me tap dancing and TikTok, it's another passive stream of income. But I'm going to bring in this year. I'm going to bring in. His name is Tank the Goat. He is a younger cousin of mine who has broken the internet before. I think one of his videos has 100 million streams or views on it. He is doing phenomenally well. I mean, living to the full, working with companies as he does this work, looking for sponsorship opportunity. He is doing it. And so I want to bring him in to share with you all how you all can begin to monetize this. Because what's interesting is we talk about real estate and the land, and I always say how they're not building any more land. Well, guess what? They just built more land. It's called digital real estate.
Yeah.
And so now there is an opportunity for you all to get in on this and to really make money doing what you love, the things that you like to do, and really making an impact and cashing and collecting a check. Amaya, give us those last few things that you have on there, and we're going to get on with this show. Come on, inspire us with some things we want to do to make 2026 a more productive year.
Yes, sir. So my last two, connect deeply. Make sure you're making meaningful connections and meaningful relationships, and make sure that you're making time for your friends and your family, and strengthening the bond that you have for not just for them, but your well-being as well. And practice gratitude. You know,
Thank you.
People have to practice that, and also acknowledge that you made it to 2026.
Yes.
Miss Inez said it great when we were at the NAACP. You made it to 2026. You're here, you're breathing, you're alive. Some people didn't make it, but you did. So let's practice that gratitude. Let's practice on being happy and making a habit of, even though when times get rough, it's always a better way to keep on going.
I always, people remind people that God is also, he wasn't just the God of what you may have lost. Sometimes in a year, we may lose relationships, friendships, jobs, money, things, and people sometimes cannot let go of those things that they've lost. And we have to remind people that God is not just the God of what you have lost, but he's also the God of what you have left. Mm-hmm. So we have to make sure that we are grateful wherever state that we find ourselves. Let's practice the attitude of gratitude.
Yes.
So it's very important.
Yes.
All right, so go ahead and close your segment on out, and we're gonna take our first commercial break as we get into this. Okay, we got a few minutes. We'll keep going, but go ahead. Finish your segment out. Go ahead, Maya. What you got left?
I said all my 7.
So you're all set. All right. So Amaya, of everything that you talked about, what is one thing that you're going to set in place for this new year?
I'm going to practice gratitude, because I know it's at times where I can get a little uneasy about different things when things don't go the way as I planned or anything. Like this morning, I locked myself out of my car and my house this morning, trying to run out and rush and hurry up and get ready for church. I done locked myself out, had to call my friend to get me ready, but I made it to church. Amen. And I made sure that even though when times got hard, that it's always a different way how you can make it happen. So I had to remind myself, girl, you make things happen.
Make it happen. The old school, all the old heads, Billy Ocean said, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. All right. Another thing that I just want to throw out there, and we're going to talk about this a little bit deeper before we take this next commercial break. I want to leave the teaser out here about the U.S. invasion of Venezuela. And I need Black America. I need everybody, not just Black America. We need, as a village, as a community, as a people, to tune into what is taking place. Oftentimes we see ourselves and we are very microscopic in terms of how we view things and the things that we focus on. And I want to just challenge you all that we have to really begin to understand that we here in the United States are a part of a global society. Global citizenship is a very important piece. We now see it being taught in high schools. Before, it was just kind of like, what happened? What is your role? How do you volunteer in your community? There are now classes that they're teaching our high school students about global citizenship. And global citizenship matters. It means that we recognize that we are just a bleep on the radar of what is happening in the macroscopic world, right? What we do here in the United States has an impact, and then sometimes that impact can have a global impact. And what we've seen taking place now in the United States of America, and I say this, I'm going to say this, and I mean it. In 2024, the election of 2024, there are a lot of you who are out there that said, hey, and I'm talking about folks in the village. I'm talking about those brothers out there who's like, Trump is going to be good for my 401k. He's going to be good for my investments. I'm not voting for him, the man. I'm voting for the policies, the policies, the Democrats this, the Democrats that. And now we find ourselves, come on, we find ourselves in a bit of a pickle as a nation. Because what we didn't realize is that we would actually find a time in American history where we as Americans are actually seeing our elected officials, as well as those judges who are supposed to be above politics, now finding themselves complicit in all of the craziness that's happening because they fail to do their jobs. Congress has the right and is responsible for the declaration of war. We're now seeing them creating ways to go around this. The Supreme Court is supposed to interpret the law to make sure that the government, as it relates to those equally divided roles, are staying within the framework of what they're doing. They are now taking direction from the executive branch. So we have branches of government that were supposed to be in place to make sure that we function and operate in this great idea of what democracy is. They are now abdicating their responsibilities. And we have now officially in this country created a dynamic where we have an elite by rule, or a rule by the elite. We see that there is now this movement toward almost what people were saying. We had this whole No Kings protest, but that's exactly what we're seeing. And we found out that our light-skinned tan brothers and sisters out there who wanted to vote for Donald Trump, all of my Hispanics and those who are out there say, hey, we're Latinos for Trump. Trump forever, La Raza.
Now they're getting snatched off the street.
Yeah, now they're getting snatched off the street. And now they are, you found out, like you messed around and really found out. And so, but the entire time we've been going through that, and I'm getting ready to take my first commercial break, they were saying that it was about undocumented Americans. They were talking about, it was about securing the border. But I told y'all that the target for this entire thing was a couple shades darker than the initial target. We are now seeing those things take place. It is beyond anyone's reasonable doubt that they would be able to stand and say that there is not a racial bias that is in place that we're now having to deal with. And we're looking at Venezuela, but when we get on the other side of this, I'm going to tell you, this ain't about Venezuela. This is not about Ukraine. This is about Africa. And we're going to talk about it when we come back with this next break with more Straight Talk.
You're listening to Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on Kiss 107.1.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Winter is here and the temperatures are falling fast, just like the price on this week's deal from Yogurt Yeti, located in the Cardinal View Plaza in Saginaw. Whether you're craving a sweet treat or just grabbing a quick snack with friends, Yogurt Yeti is the place to be. Get your $20 coupon for only $10. That's right, half off your favorite Froyo flavors. Head over to RocketGrabPlus.com to get your.
They don't go together. RocketGrabPlus.com.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. My moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults with candidates for systemic or phototherapy. Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi.
Are we live?
Y'all got muted. Thank you.
Oh!
It's always you, Bishop. I just, it's a lot to do. Yes, thank you. Thank you. You forgot to. You be talking to your teeth. Commercial breaks.
We're starting a new routine on making food for the first time. Trying something new.
That was funny.
We have to wrap up on time.
Yes.
Last time I got in trouble. I let y'all go too long.
Okay.
The commercials got booted, so we're gonna end on time.
Yeah,
okay?
no.
Okay. So we ended at 7 o'clock.
Y'all won't end
Yeah, no, yes.
at about 6:50.
We'll work out. Not 6:55, Miss Yvonne. No, we do that at 6:45. You put them in at 6:45. So the next, we'll take a break at 6:45 for the commercial.
And then you can come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that they will. Okay, let's do that.
Oh, girl, thank you. I was waiting to get to
You did good.
Thank you.
We coming back with you.
I got a question. So then,
Yeah.
if are we allowed to talk, or we just look at you the whole time?
You
Because
talk.
I'd be scared
Talk
to
to-
say when I.
Just talk.
And then he gonna start talking because he want to have a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I be wanting to have a conversation.
Yeah, jump in there.
But
Like,
you did, but you did say you gotta
Yeah.
say acknowledge her.
Yeah.
Might just be like, hey.
Yeah, that's what it's like. I didn't know if I could say stuff, but I be having stuff to say. But I didn't know.
Go ahead.
I
Okay,
didn't know.
are
He
we
know-
are we still
He
muted?
know me.
Yeah, we are.
He know I am. I be
Somebody
talking.
just posted. What do you do? We can still hear everything.
Okay.
Yep, live as can be.
At least I ain't talking about nobody.
Y'all not muted.
It must
Yeah.
be you. I got mine. You make yours. Is yours muted?
I come to the board.
Well, I'm muted.
Oh, we all be quiet.
It's muted though.
Bet you what I'm about to do. Thank you all for your commentary and sharing with us exactly what's going on, because sometimes we don't hear. And as I said, we have a temporary producer on today. So we certainly thank you guys. We have a lot of fun here on this show, and so we're excited to be here. If you guys are noticing, there's another young lady that's going to come to the mic.
Hey, y'all.
She's been here before. Her name is Alicia Fields. She is a sports extraordinaire. She talked about what she wants to do with her goals and how she wanted to move forward. Alicia, let us know what's happening in the wonderful world of sports.
Okay. So I was like, what should I bring to y'all today? So I was like, not Michigan sports, because as we've seen with the Lions, they failed us. So we're not even gonna talk about them. Last time I was on here, I have real hope for us, and sadly, they drained me. They lied to me. So I'm going to talk about something that probably a lot of people don't really know about unless you're really into sports, or if you're a college athlete like myself, is the transfer portal. So you may ask, Alicia, girl, what is the transfer portal? I don't know what that is. Well, that's why I'm here. So the NCAA transfer portal is a digital database for D1, D2, and D3 colleges. So think if you're thinking D1, think Michigan State. If you're thinking D2, think SAG, like here. D3, think of Elma College, or like the real small colleges, stuff like that. And kind of think of it as like a free agency. So if you're thinking about the pros, how they want to get traded, or like their contract is up, kind of think of it like that, but it's less complicated and less money involved. So the transfer portal, it was created in 2018. Before this, the process was more formal. It was a lot harder for athletes to leave. As we know now, athletes are now getting paid with NIL money. Thank God, because we deserve it. As much work as we be doing for these coaches, sometimes it be feeling like a slave auction, how they be throwing us around. But we're gonna get into that. So since then, rules have changed though. much recent being in 2024 with the newest rule coming out being that athletes are now allowed to transfer immediately, and if they want to, they can now transfer schools multiple times. So in simpler terms, kind of think say you have a job, you working somewhere, and now you're able to bounce around in your corporation multiple times, and think about it as you don't have to go through any training, you just automatically boom get the job. So why is all this important? Why are you even bringing this up to me? Why should I even care? So for all of my sports heads, or if you're not a sports head, that's okay. We're gonna get you there. Many coaches feel like this change makes it harder for them to have any room for error. So if we kind of even think about Michigan State, they just got a new coach. And if y'all, as we heard earlier, one of their star wide receivers, Nick Marsh, he has just entered the transfer portal and now got picked up by Indiana. That's not a good thing for State, because how can you build a team if you're always scared that your star players are going to leave if you don't have a winning season? And this is especially true, like I mentioned earlier, if you were following NIL money. Not only college athletes are getting paid, as you know, our favorite, Bryce Underwood, the Michigan quarterback, he's getting paid, I don't even know, like millions of dollars getting paid. But now even high school athletes are now getting paid all that money. As we were talking earlier, you can make money from just social media, but now you're making money for just being an athlete.
Alicia, have they started with monetizing for high school athletes now?
I think so, yeah.
Because I thought high school athletes are still unable to be monetized.
No, you can make money now.
Okay.
Like high school athletes are not even getting signed.
I knew it was coming.
If you look at these athletes now, they're like freakish athletes. Like we're seeing, I'm a track star, so I know track stuff. Quincy Wilson, he's made it to Olympics, 16 years old. He made it to the trials. Like that's insane.
Ridiculous.
Like these kids, I don't know what they're feeding these kids, but they're insane.
It's in the chicken.
Yes, it's something. Girl. But aside from this, even though that I do agree that the transfer portal is a good thing for athletes, it makes it very hard for high school athletes. Now it's a lot harder for them because now coaches are only looking in the transfer portal, but it makes sense. Of course, if I'm a coach, I'm going to pick a more seasoned, experienced athlete, unlike a high school athlete who I have to develop. I got to teach them all the stuff. Why would I go through all that trying to scout when all I have to do, just go on my computer, type it in. I want this kid from so-and-so. I'm going to pick him up. I don't got to go to high school and go through all the logistics and stuff like that.
It's kind of crazy because the whole world, the AAU world, was centered around kind of every kid getting a shot. Mm-hmm. Now, the way the portal and things are opening up, it is kind of the reverse effect of what that did, because now we're not looking at all kids. We're not going to all. We're looking at who are the top performers, who are the kids who are making the marks. We have metrics that are set. We want top tier athletes making this happen. You brought up the situation with Michigan State University. Shout out. Indiana is amazingly talented. But what this does is it takes us back. It takes me back. And if you are a basketball fan, you remember when we started seeing brokered teams. It started with, I believe it was the Miami team. Chris Bosh couldn't win a playoff ring if his life depended on it. Dwayne Wade was doing his thing, but they said, we're going to broker this team. We're going to get Udonis Haslam and Shaquille O'Neal and Dwayne Wade. We're going, Chris, you come down here. We saw that take place. We saw a dynasty be created, and really a coach who was absolutely unknown be made one of the best coaches in the game, right? Because these players were really making the moves. Then we saw the shift to LA and what was taking place. How are you going to get LeBron and all of these people on the same team? So when we look at that, it is kind of unraveling the idea of what AAU was intended. I think AAU is the devil anyways. I didn't think it was good for our players. I didn't think it was good for...
They be working you.
They don't only work you, but AAU was meant to do... Because I've been praying against AAU. Let me tell you why I've been praying against AAU. I'm going to tell you why as a pastor. I love sports. I love the fact that young people can get involved. But AAU developed a system that all of their games would be on weekends. So kids were losing their spiritual connection. Parents were more concerned about kids being picked up and getting to the next level than they were understanding that you're developing a whole person. That's body, soul, spirit. So academics
are important. Sports and extracurricular are important, but their spiritual growth is also important.
Yeah.
So AAU,
I get what you're saying.
congratulations.
I get it.
We'll go ahead back to the portal.
So with that being said, kind of like what is my thoughts on this? And feel free to comment kind of what y'all think. Kareem, hop in, or anybody else in the room that would love to hop in too. Kind of going back to what you were saying. With the transfer portal, like I said initially, I do think it's a great thing for allowing college athletes to have a mind of their own and not being controlled. Because at the end of the day, we are young adults, and we are stepping into adulthood. But I think it's going to kill the camaraderie. I think I'm saying it wrong.
Camaraderie.
Thank you. Of sports. If you always have athletes leaving all the time, how can you really form a brotherhood? Like, how do I know if I bring this athlete in, is he going to stay for the all 4 years? Especially when it comes to football. I mean, that's a real team sport. Like because that's when you mostly see transfer to our football athletes, and I think that's what's really important, like that chemistry. Yeah, you can have great players, like you were saying, but that don't matter if you bring in all these great players. If y'all don't got no team chemistry, you ain't winning nothing. I don't care what player you got on there. So
and then it diminishes the role that a coach plays in a kid's life.
Yeah.
When I think about it, the people that I hated the most as coaches were the ones that challenged me.
Yes.
Everyone else may have celebrated me in certain areas. Oh man, you were great. Oh, your speed was good. Oh, this was it. You hit the shot. But then that coach that would not jump on the bandwagon, that would challenge me. Oh, he got something against me. And it was really about personal development, right? We got to get back to where coaches are coaching more than sports.
Yes.
But they have the ability to really impact. Our kids spend more time with coaches than they do with parents.
Yes.
During season.
Yes.
So now we're moving into a place that kids are being paid. Coaches are now challenged because you can't be the coach that you used to be. Remember the days when Coach Izzo used to go off on players? I remember notoriously during the 2000 championship run with Michigan State University, and him and the team went toe to toe, and he ripped into Charlie Bell and said, "If you don't get your butt, I can't say it." I mean, but he was developing his team and challenging them. Now, I had some issues with how he coached, but he had the ability to really check his players and get in. Now, if you don't like the way a coach is doing, you leave.
And honestly, if I'm being real, like even our coach tells us, if you don't like what I have, leave. The portal is right there. So
where's the loyalty?
He tells that's another story. I won't get into all the time. But yeah, it's like that. I really believe, but that's what I have.
And loyalty goes both ways, right?
Yeah. It does.
What I love about this is that sometimes a coach will recruit you, and you understand this, Alicia. A coach will recruit you. He'll promise you the world, the moon, the stars, and you get in, and then he becomes enamored with another player, and so you begin to sit on the shelf. Now you got to wonder if you're going to keep your eligibility. Are you going to keep your scholarship dollars? You're not getting playing time. It's threatening your ability to go to the next level. And so there is no loyalty from a coach. So absolutely.
It's all politics.
So the portal on the good side of this, like, look, if you want to, you're not going to sit me on the shelf and ruin my eligibility. I'm going somewhere where I can get playing time.
And that's where I was saying, I feel like it's a balance. Like I love that because I've known players. We even know somebody who should have had more playing time, should have did this.
Right.
Sadly, they couldn't leave. It was too late. But just situations like that, especially for team sports like football, basketball, and all the others, is really on your coach if you get to play or not. It's really on them. Luckily for like track, you can't tell me I'm not good. If I'm fast, I'm fast. But yeah.
Speaking fast, how are we doing with time over the producer? All right, we got a couple minutes here. I want to read some of the comments that we got coming in, and we got Tammy Davis out there. Woo! Patrice Bullock, baby, what did I tell you about AAU? Man, then she goes.
That was excellent. You read that.
Was it good? I tried to embody the comment there. She goes on to say, yes, they do, and this is why you have to be careful with who you allow your child around because coaches are a big influence over your child. Now, that's a whole show in and of itself.
Yeah.
When we talk about it, Alicia, you kind of opened a very large box, and so we got to kind of dissect some of this because this whole concept of NIL dollars, name, image, and likeness, for those of you who don't understand, it now means that historically colleges have been able to not only get the big bucks when they win a championship, but all of the dollars, all of the marketing dollars, all of the donor funded dollars, all of the boosters and
alumni who give, all of it went to the schools. Yep. And their response was, hey, you get a free education. Now, where they do that at? You know what I mean? Only in college sports. And so for a long time, people were saying athletes should be able to go in and capitalize, and they should be paid something. If we win a championship and the university's going to get $80 million, $100 million out of it, what are we getting? Exactly. So NIL, name, image, and likeness, means that athletes have the ability to use their brand, their image, their likeness to now go out and get endorsement opportunities. Mm-hmm. That means that a college player has the ability to not only be repped as a team, say by Reebok or Nike, but then they also have the ability to go out there and say, hey, listen, my brand is consistent with Cadillac, so I want to deal with Cadillac. Cadillac will pay them and usually put them in a car. There'll be commercial opportunities, also other endorsements that are powerful. Now, I've been saying this for a while. When they opened it up for college, which should have been a long time ago, and they need to reverse some things. Free Brian Bowen. Free him. But when I look at this, when I look at the situation with Tugs, all of this stuff unraveled literally the very next year. Literally. It should have never been an issue. A number of other players are out there. This is something that has been in place the entire time, my time of being involved in a collegiate and professional sports since 1995, right? So this has been a minute. But what I also think is important is that young people, college students, high school athletes, because you are the next land that this is going to hit, you've got to be concerned about what you're putting on social media, your presence online, how you show up into places. Everyone has a camera. There are no dead spots anymore, right? So everything that you do, now it challenges us to develop. This is why coaching at young ages is going to be so important. It's not just about star athletes, but it's about star people. We can't only be good on the court. We've got to have great character and integrity and intelligence, and all of those things are a part of this conversation. But Alicia, I want to let you finish this out. Give us your last few thoughts before we go to this next commercial break.
Well, now we didn't open a whole nother door. But with the transfer portal, I just think that it's super big, like going into, you know what you're doing. A lot of times, a lot of athletes get stuck in the portal thinking that the grass is greener on the other side. Sometimes it ain't. I just really want to emphasize, too, that really also, yes, there's bad coaches out there. There's always going to be something bad in some type of realm. But also trust your coaches. I think that's a really big thing, trusting your coaches. But I think it's a slippery slope. Like, I feel like we're seeing both sides of how it could be good, how it could be bad. But just keep your eye open. I think that is going to keep changing over time. We're going to see a lot of development with the transfer portal. There's a lot of NCAA rules that are about to come out, seeing if eligibility, if you can get now, there's talks of getting 5 years of eligibility in sports. So we're going to see a lot of different stuff. So just keep your eyes open. I think it's just going to be very a lot of politics involved. A lot of stuff is changing and on the go. So keep your eyes out, especially if you have kids out there who play sports. You got to be on top of this stuff so you know what you're talking about.
And I need my single Black moms, because when we look at pro athletes, most of these kids are coming from families that are led by powerful, strong Black women who often don't understand the landscape of sports. Now, there is an organization out of Detroit. I'm going to bring her in. My sister, Kenya Ruth, she's talking about parents, moms, who are working with young athletes as single moms. And it empowers you with the tools that you need to understand on what comes next as it relates to your young people. It's educating them. There's a whole podcast about NIL moms. And so it's a very important thing. We're going to bring her in for a conversation here. But to those of you out there, let's get plugged in. Let's get tuned in. This is a whole world. And when we understand what's going on, we know how to move in those spaces. We got to keep our community folks in the mouths, in the lines of fire, in the minds of these young people, because once they leave our communities, so do those dollars. And they're not coming back. Because when they get out there, they say, you don't need to go back to your community. Your community needs to take care of itself. You're your own person. They can't tell you. I've heard it all. I've heard it all. So I want you all to be blessed out there. One more thing, Tammy Davis says, my son made it to college with an athletic scholarship and is now coaching because of the coaches and mentors who influenced him to do so. He worked, did summer Bible study, and went to church in summer. His coaches influenced and encouraged this. See, he was good, but because of a God, he was great. You're absolutely right. We're going to take a next commercial break. We'll be back with more Straight Talk.
You're listening to Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on KISS 107.1.
This is your KISS community page where you can find out about all of the great things that are going on in
empowered on this first week of the new year. This is the fourth, only 4 days in. Hey, if you haven't started, get started today. If your resolution was you're going to be in the best shape of your life, do it. I'm telling you. January 1st, 2025, I said, I'm going to lose the weight, get in the gym. And I successfully, for 6 days a week, I would go to the gym. The first 40 days of the year, I cut up all sugar, all meat out of my life. It didn't stay that way, but I'm getting back to it. My brother likes to eat. All right, I gotta eat. I'm not one of the long-term vegans because I like a good steak every now and then. But what I'm saying is that I got in there and I made those things happen, and I'm so pleased with the results that have been happening. People say, "What are you doing?" If you get up, I'm up tomorrow morning, 4:30 in the morning. I'll be at the gym. It used to be 6 o'clock, but now I've got to get my fix. And I'm just saying that to encourage someone out there. Literally this year, I lost 70 pounds over the course of the year, bit by bit, little by little, but it pays off. So little becomes much when you place it in the master's hand. Whatever it is that you're going to do this year, let's spend some time focusing in. Now, I just want to close out the show because I really want you all to focus in on what's taking place. I shared with you all that the United States invaded Venezuela. And so we saw that President Trump went in to a sovereign nation, regardless of what he has done. You know, he has drug lords, drug dealers, people abuse, all of the things that people have accused him of. And I'm talking about President Nicolas Maduro. He went in the darkness of night. He said, "Hey, we got this technology that shuts down a country's power." And I would have thought he was crazy if I had not seen videos of this actually taking place. Folks who were actually recording news and media in the time that this happened, power went out, which would express why that president wasn't able to get to a safe room, to the place where he would be considered to be safe. Pulled him out. You know, that dude, regardless of what you thought of him, he was a very sharp dressed man. And then to put him in a jumpsuit, got my man in a jumpsuit, taking pictures with him and his wife. And this is no laughing matter. It's crazy to think that we're in this place. Why does this matter? Because the United States of America, for its existence, has purported to be a country where democracy was our central theme. We were the protectors of the free world, to make sure that nations were able to have their sovereignty in place and intact. We are leaders in NATO, the union of countries that have come together to make sure that the free world stays free. And now we have become the aggressors. We have become the bullies on a world stage. This is something that is not only scary, but it is very dangerous politically for American citizens that are all around the country. Venezuelans do not see what President Trump did as something, hey, you delivered us from this dictator. No, they saw their borders be infringed, being broken. You went in. Not only did he take him, this is the audacity of the matter, but you also took the oil that was found on the tankers, 1.9 million barrels of oil. We're talking about trillions of dollars in economics. When we look at the state of Venezuela, one of the greatest countries in terms of producing oil, 3.7 million barrels from two other tankers in total. And then to brag up to the world that we're going to take this and keep it. We don't know what we're going to do with it. And now who's going to run the country? We are now going to run another country. So we have, in essence, done exactly with Venezuela what Russia did with Ukraine and what China is threatening to do with Taiwan. How can we, as a nation, with rules and legislation and borders and all of these things, stand by while we have this president who has gone dictator, and he is now doing the things that we have spoken against, that we have promised to uphold. We are now finding ourselves in place. But I want to say this to my brothers and sisters who are out there. Don't be deceived. It is not the brown country in South America that is the prize that they're looking for. If you have been in tune with what's been taking place, the continent. Now, understand this: we talk about Africa, and we talk about Africa like Africa is the size of Spain or the size of France. Africa is the second largest continent on the globe. To Eurasia, China and all of that stuff together, right? And so we need to understand that Africa is, you could put probably 6, 7, 8 of Americas inside of Africa. Africa is not a country, it is a continent. And what we now see, and I'll tell you this, I was making plans. I told you I just recently found out my roots in Sierra Leone. I've been studying and looking what's going on. We have a direct connection with the country of Burkina Faso. For years, Bishop Pryor, who's no longer with us, he would go there and he did missionary work. As a matter of fact, when he passed away, he was returning from Burkina Faso, where he was helping to build a school in that particular country. So we have been funding this work in that country. Their new president is not having it. The president of Burkina Faso, who is Captain Ibrahim Traore, like Holiday Traore, is on a mission to unite the countries or the states of Africa in a union called the United States of Africa, with a single government, with a single currency, Afro money, passports for free movement, replacing colonialism. And what we see, what President Trump did, is a modern day move back towards colonialism. We've seen a lot of transitions going backwards here in the United States with civil rights movements and laws and things. We saw that he thought it was okay to bring South Africans in who were white into this country and deny South Africans who were black. And when he brought them in, gave them the benefits, taking care of housing and food and all of the things. Wake up, America. For all my young brothers and sisters out there who are saying that politics don't matter, that your voice and your vote does not matter, this is the perfect example why. The first time he got into office, he set his sights on changing the makeup of the judicial system. If I could get judges in to pass the laws and the legal system that I need, I can now control the judicial system. So he worked with the lower court judges, the federal judges, the state judges, and ultimately the Supreme Court judge. This second time in office, he comes in, and now having a judicial system favorable of his positions, he now has the ability to do exactly what he wants. If a lower court says, hey, we're going to stop this, we'll put a stay, they say that's okay because we're going to appeal it all the way to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court has shown us that they're going to give him whatever it is that he wants. They said, as a matter of fact, that this man has unchecked, unfettered power, that it is impossible to prosecute the president, regardless of what it is that he has done. Let's pay attention to what's going on. All right, so what we see happening in Venezuela, I believe, is a test drive for what they really desire to do. On Christmas Day, we saw the United States bomb Nigeria. Why? Oh, it's for the defense of Christians in America. This idea of Zionism is now popping up to a new level. We have a lot of these Christians in America, that these white Christian moderates in America that are pushing for this idea and joining with the concept of Zionism in Israel, and they're pushing for this national identity. What you need to realize, like the folks who thought that when they were talking about poor people, that they were talking about only black and brown folks. But we came to find out that the country folks out there in the country and the brothers up there in the hills who was out there trying to get and lost their SNAP benefits, they realized real quick what was going on, that you are not a part of their agenda. So those who are out there, all of you white Christian moderates who are standing with Trump, it's about Zion, this and that. This is about Israel. This is about rich folk. And what you're going to realize is that all of you people who have been standing in solidarity, watching as our government's fundamental structures are being challenged and being degraded, that you're going to realize that you are not on the team. But this is about what's taking place. So there's a bombing. Why was there a bombing in Nigeria? Because we were defending Christians? No, I think this has nothing about Christianity. There is an underwhelming, an undercurrent sentiment that we got to save the world for Christ.
which I'm a Christian. I'm a believer who believes in Christ. I believe in the Bible principles, and nothing that I see come out of this White House mimics, looks like, has a residue or an essence of what I see taught in biblical principles. I don't know what Bible y'all reading, but this ain't it. All right. And so in addition to that, we now see the reason the president of Burkina Faso is saying we want to unite Africanism. We want to unite Africa against colonialism. We saw them kick out France. France, y'all don't realize this, is very unstable. Why? Because much of what Europe thrives on, when we look at them as these great nations, they have done so by stealing the natural resource. It has been the colonialism. This is why what has happened in the slave days are so important, because it wasn't just about the chattel slavery. It wasn't just about the selling of the people. It wasn't just about the stealing of an identity. It wasn't just about, think about how you don't want to go to Africa. They show us pictures of folks running around in loincloths with big bellies, not able to feed themselves, with flies flying around. But all of the while, folks in Europe and other nations vacation in Africa because they have the best beaches, they have the best resources, they have everything that they need to do great. Now, it is about power, it is about politics. The greatest natural resources are in Africa. The greatest amount of oil is in Africa, uranium, and all of the things that you need to create power and politics, and those things are in the land of Africa. So we're going to talk about this a little bit more. There's an election statewide that we're going to vote. Dr. Pamela Pugh is running. Who else is out there in the I don't know who's out there who understands our race. It wasn't who else is it, because we know that there's other people in it, but I'm talking about who understand the politics of the moment. And we need to realize that there has to be some unification of what's going on. I believe, as we look at this in the idea of Pan-Africanism, now they didn't shut it down like y'all can't come here. Before they were trying to get black folks, come back, understand that you are part of the global society. African Americans, descendants of Africans here in America, us African Americans, we are a key piece of this puzzle. We've got to begin to understand that the ingenuity, the understanding, the know-how, the intellect, the money that we have is needed back in our motherland. We got to talk about this conversation because it's something that used to happen in the 60s, 70s. Everybody thought it was crazy. Africa is now impoverished. It has everything that it needs. It is the wealthiest country on the planet when it comes to its natural resources. And we see modern day colonialism in full effect.
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever. All right. For those of you out there, we're going to continue this conversation. I want to thank you, lovely ladies, for being with us on today.
Thank you.
Amen. Next week, we'll have a spotlight on youth, showcasing young people who are doing great things in our community. Brother Antonio Brooks, more power to the people out there. We love you guys. Take care of yourselves and each other. God bless you.
Bye, y'all.
Grace and peace.
You've been listening to Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on KISS 107.1. The views and opinions expressed